morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks, here to bring you your weekly Flesh and Blood market update. Today is interesting. We have some stuff. Some stuff happened. Is it major? No. Are we still in a doldrum? Yes. Is the market generally flat? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to see for a while, but I do see some leakage, some downward pressure here and there, and let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. So unlimited boxes basically did not move from last week, exception being Mon, a whole $2, whoop-de-doo. But considering we had a spike down to 5% drop 3 weeks ago, and we continue to decline, just notable that we continue to see that downward pressure. Doldrums are as they are. I would say one thing that seems to be happening, if you look at the markets in general, not around boxes, but individual cards, do seem to be reacting to some of the news. Not a major amount. We're not talking free 10D, 10 exit, type thing. We are talking about very regular price action around what's going to be playable, what's coming up. Highly recommend check out Stackswell's video. I will not be doing cards today. I don't have the time for it. Unfortunately, because of my day, and he has just released a really good overview of a bunch of cards, like yesterday or something like that. So, anyways, go check out his stuff. He's got like lots of great content on individual cards. Very worth it. Arc is up 5.23. This is unlimited cases. Not that big of a deal. We saw this come down, and now it's returning to where it was. It's basically just flat, right? Flat from a month ago, and on a downward trend in general. But we'll take a look at the charts on that one. Nothing too special there. WTR first edition box down 5.17% to 2750. Sorry, my phone just went off. 2750 from 2900. This is the one that we have been keeping an eye on. This is leaking down pretty quickly across the board and has been for a while. Yeah, I'm curious where this lands, because that's going to say something, and we'll get to it in a second, but there's reason to believe it may be a lot lower than we were talking about before. Aside from the fact that I think we're going to be in a long-term slump in general in the cardboard space. We're talking macro level years, micro and basically, these types of boxes, at least 6 months, maybe a bit more. Depending on what's going on, there should be some basic downtrend happening there, with the exception of a full economic crash, which could extend it way longer depending on how we react to that. But basically, the inflationary situation that we're looking at has had an impact on people parking money into things like cardboard. Mon is down 8.82% to $93 from 105. This is really just, back to where it was 2 weeks ago. Nothing too special here other than continued downtrend, as we've been saying. Interestingly, Everfest did pump 13.46%. I don't know, it's just back to where it was, so I think this was just an anomaly, this $52 one, because it's been sitting at that price for a while. Maybe there's some actual volatility here or some, issue with supply getting to people, but not from what I see. From what I've seen, Everfest is still available for purchase. Actually, let me just double check real quick. I have the allocation stuff up over here. And we'll double check to make sure Everfest. Yeah, first edition case still available, same price it's been. So that was just anomalous. I don't think that's anything. Moving on to the thing that actually has most of my attention, and the reason I'm fumbling on everything else. Arc first edition case is listed on TCG Player for $7,250. Is it real? I have no idea. It scares the heck out of me, though, because if there's a good reason for that, I think the whole thing's in trouble. If that is actually a legit resource where you can buy it, I mean, I knew like 10K. I knew this price was fake, but that seems really low. Let me know in the comments if you've seen sales go off at lower prices than this or around this price. Like, is this reasonable for TCG Player, which is always elevated? I'm like, wow, that is really crazy low. It's by a good seller. Here, let me move this on here so you can see it. It's in the banana stand. The money's in the banana stand. But most importantly, 96 real store, 50,000 sales. This is a real deal. They're just getting it off the books. I wonder if they're just done with Fab. This is crazy to me to be this low. We knew that, what was it, WTR was priced at like 20,000 in real life by a real vendor. I think we had it right here. This was at, I think we were at Pro Tour. I spoke with one of the vendors, and that's what they were selling. So we knew this was like a real price. For this to be a real price, it's a bad sign. Just there's no real way around it. Is that it's a bad sign. Now, like I said, I knew this was fake, but usually these prices are bloated for the market. So that means, I guess, in the back rooms and Facebooks and Discords, people are selling them for 5K or less. Wow. If that's true, definitely a bad sign for old school Fab. And that makes me sad. That makes me really sad. I don't think that's the case like in the real world, but I don't know. You got to follow the data. I don't want it to be true. I think this stuff, especially the early stuff, is worth it. But maybe that's how bad the markets as a whole are. Maybe that's what we're looking at, is a long-term downtrend where nothing is worth anything over the long term, or over the short medium term, maybe like 10 years, but that's like assuming 10 years, right? That's a ridiculous thing to do. Wow. If that's true, I am flabbergasted and sad. Anyways, Mon is down 8.78% to 374. It's first edition Mon. That is a good price for it historically. Let's see, 374. Yeah, we haven't had that price. Not that long ago. Okay. Yeah, not that long ago. February. So, it's going back to the early part of the year, which we've seen a lot of different boxes do over the course. That is that. Sorry for the bad news, though. That one makes me sad. That one throws me off a lot, because 7,250 for that is just really low. It's really low. It makes me sad. Anyways, moving on to some charts. What chart was I really interested in looking at? Let's look at ARC and WTR first. Okay, so ARC Unlimited. Let's get this a little bigger for you. I didn't realize my screen wasn't fully there. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is just anomalous. There's nothing crazy here. We went down, and it's back up to where it was. It's still on a downtrend. This actually will probably be the anomaly, and we'll get back into this range on this angle here. Nothing too crazy there. It is slipping off and falling off for ARC first edition. Interesting. The premium comes back. We've had that in the past, but it is not a stop. Yeah, it's not a stop. So yeah, maybe we flatline here, because this time it flatlined. This time it kind of dripped down some more, but it wasn't like a prelude to anything particular. So still need to expand the charts. Sorry about that. Haven't gotten around to it. Moving on. Other ones we want to look at: WTR first and ARC first. Yeah, so this is just trailing off. Like we said, unfortunately, it's getting really low. I think 2,000 was the low price for the WTR when we look back. But yeah, it's just falling off. The premium's holding up. This is the part that, that's what I was thinking about here. Let's just go look at it. Let's just do it. Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what? Looking at the chart, this is why I do the charts, because you can imagine only so much, but this isn't that crazy. Did not realize how high that premium was. So there should be a premium on older stuff, but yeah, that is too high. This is kind of a steal, which is stupid. Interesting. But the boxes aren't really selling. Actually, let's look real quick. There's one sale, $16.91. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this price is fake is what it boils down to. This $18.99, it really needs to be lower to get a sale. $1,600, $1,700, $18 is too low. or too high rather, and the premium is that's still crazy. It's got to be a store just selling out of fab, like just out. It still feels way too low. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about that. Definitely curious what people say. Is that a steal? Is this Arcane case like just ridiculously underpriced? I don't think it's fake. It's a real vendor. Like, and you don't have that many sales at 99.6% unless this is you're offering it for that price. Ugh, yikes. Just throws me off, guys. It throws me off. Anyways, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll keep watching this thing. Hopefully it's not an endless train wreck. I do see a downturn over the long run. We've talked about that in the past. There's just a lot of economic forces lining up to put pressure on this market in general. So I do see a long bleed. This was not expected. I did not expect a big cliff fall like that on the older products. That I didn't see that happening. So anyways, hopefully no one's put money in they can't afford to lose. No one's shirt is lost, or house or mortgage or credit or whatever. I always say do not risk money that is important to you. Obviously, make sure you take care of your finances first. Take care of that debt. Get yourself some real estate, all those things. Do not put money into cardboard that is not willing to be lost. But yeah, this is scary because that's a bad sign. This may be the canary in the coal mine. I mean, there's been several canaries. We've talked about them. But this may be the big oof, because once this happens, everything reprices around this if this is legit, and if it doesn't sell. If it does sell, then it's a discount. It's a steal, and someone's going to pick it up and be willing to buy it for that. But if it doesn't sell and it stays at this price and the whole market begins to shift, there's a ripple effect that comes from it. We're talking, if this is how much ARC cases are, maybe even less because it's not selling. Again, TCG players typically overpriced. So maybe it's 5,000, right? Let's just make a number, right? If it's 5,000, then that means WTR is at best 10,000, which is half of what was being sold at Pro Tour Baltimore, like earlier this year, right? Like crazy. We're talking about a 50% retrace on everything, basically. If the old stuff can't hold, then yeah, everything's worth about half of what it currently is. It's not exactly right, but it's pretty bad. Oh man, yeah. We'll see. I guess we'll see how it goes. Secondary market for flesh and blood is never too dull for too long. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the content. Again, sorry for being the bearer of bad news, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's just got to be a conversation about this. So anyways, I will see you next time. I hope you're out there cracking packs, playing the game, enjoying this hobby that we all love, and not sweating the finances stuff. Anyways, until next time, have a good one.